What's up, Dream Media family? This is Zach. Welcome back to another episode. Today, we're going to be talking about the death of Zappiti. In addition to what my guys over at Kaleidescape are doing to help out all the Zappiti customers. If you're not familiar with Kaleidescape, it is the ultimate movie player for 10 times the audio quality and 10 times the video quality. Reference level video and lossless audio. The big difference between Kaleidescape and other options out there on the market is that Kaleidescape physically downloads full resolution files direct to their server so that you can play it back with the absolute best quality guaranteed every single time. Not to mention, guys, their user interface is absolutely stunning. Anyways, today we're going to bring on the guys from Kaleidescape and discuss what they're doing to help out with this Zappiti crisis we're dealing with. All right, guys, let's get into it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got a full house here today. We got the entire Dream Media crew along with the entire Kaleidescape crew. We're going to talk about their new promo that they're launching now that Zappiti's kind of out of the business. What are they going to do to transition Zappiti owners over to Kaleidescape? Zach.
Yeah, thanks for having us on today, Shane. Really appreciate it. So we've had a lot of customers, unfortunately, that are struggling with what to do now that everybody, we all found out what happened with Zappiti. So luckily, the Kaleidescape guys are looking out and created a program specifically to try to help out and get you into that industry-leading ultimate movie platform Kaleidescape system. So I brought the guys on today, and they're going to kind of run through the program details, which will help you guys out financially.
We just sent an email out this week to all of our dealer network. Obviously, everybody heard about Zappiti last week, and so we came up with a solution where we think that we can help out, some of the existing Zappiti customers and kind of get back in, enjoy their movies again on our system. And so what we've done is create a way for them to get into our ecosystem, whether they start off with a Strato C and an 8 or go all the way up to an 88. We've built in movie store credits for them. So, for instance, if they purchase an 8 terabyte and a Strato C, which is our entry level, they get about $800 in movie store credits that they can, buy new releases or do our cool disc-to-digital stuff, which Andre can dive into, where they can take some of their existing physical media and use the credits for that to get either Blu-ray or 4K versions of the content that they already have.
And depending on the type of system that you go with and the extent of your movie collection, you guys do offer, Kaleidescape offers further incentives. Looks like all the way up to $3,000 in movie credits if you have a huge movie collection. That would be if you purchase the Strato C and the Terra Prime 31 terabyte solid state. And then there are some terms that Kaleidescape requires. Can you review that with us, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. So biggest thing is, one, it has to be a current Zappiti customer going into Kaleidescape, right? So with that, we're going to have proof of purchase. That's going to be let us see the serial number, take a picture of the Zappiti unit, if you have an invoice with the receipt, right? With that, the movie credits that you talked about, the 800 to 3,000, those will have a 3-year limit on those. But I can tell you as a customer, that'll go by really quick. But they do have a 3-year limit on those. And then obviously we have some other promotions going. So the Zappiti promotion does not work with any other promotions that we have.
And Matt, right now, when does that Zappiti promotion end? Is there an end date on that? You need to purchase it or get into this by the end of the year, end of the month? What does that look like?
We haven't set anything like that yet. So, it's, we're kind of working on a kind of date, but there's no end in sight so far. So you're good for now. You should at least be good to the end of the year, right? So no problem with that.
Fantastic. Appreciate it, Matt. Good question, Kellen. Andre, do you want to kind of get into some of the technical aspects of their to digital program, as well as how this program will work?
Sure. Yeah. So basically, once somebody gets their Kaleidescape system, gets it up online, up and running, then you want to get movies into it. And obviously, the Zappiti owners own a lot of content already. And so we want to allow them to take advantage of our disc to digital program to be able to get discounts on purchasing those movies again from Kaleidescape. And so the simplest way that works is, as we've talked about in the past, to get one of our BD-ROM drives that are highlighted on our site, and I think you can probably put those up later on. That you can take those BD-ROM drives, attach it to your Strato player, and then that allows you to put your discs into the BD-ROM player, and will recognize the disc and catalog it to your movie store account. And so for any of the movies that you own that are available from Kaleidescape, then when you go to see those in the movie store, you are now going to see a discounted price. And that pricing is going to vary from a couple of dollars if you're going from an SD or HD disc to an SD or HD version download, or a few more dollars to be able to actually upgrade it to whatever the highest quality is available from Kaleidescape, up to 4K HDR.
And what's cool about that too is a majority of those titles are going to be between, like, our average is like $3 to $10, right? So I know I did like Die Hard a few months ago, and Blu-ray to Blu-ray was about $3.50, and then to upgrade to 4K it was an extra dollar, so $4.50 I got the 4K version of Die Hard on the system. So,
And the people that have their Zappiti credits, the credits aren't limited to just new movie purchases. It can also cover the cost to that disc to digital upgrade, correct?
Exactly.
Correct.
Perfect. Yep. No, just wanted to clarify.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
making lemonade out of lemons for sure.
Yeah, listen, we just want to help, right? We just want to help, people be able to get their content back up and running and enjoy it. So
awesome.
So
Andre,
wait,
is there
so
anything else you want to add in?
So the disc to digital, you're importing DVDs and Blu-rays. Can it import 4Ks?
no.
Well, so we're not importing movies.
Well,
we're
you're
just
cataloging your titles, yeah.
cataloging, right?
Yeah.
We can only do standard definition DVDs and Blu-ray discs. That the Blu-ray drives are not, we're not able to use 4K Blu-ray drives for that.
Okay. But you're upgrading to 4K, so.
Right. You're going to take the movies that you own on whichever format that you own, and you can upgrade them. If we have it available in 4K, you can upgrade that and purchase the 4K version.
Right.
And you also have the ability to just catalog, right? So if you have a huge movie library and, it's going to be over, let's say $3,000 to kind of get your full library, you can also catalog, where it'll still show the cover art and the metadata on our system. And then you still get that discount later on. So if in 6 months I want to buy that version for, $5, I can buy it, 6 months from now. I still get that discount because I've shown ownership too. So
Yeah.
it's
a related thing to Matt's point is for a Kaleidescape, you don't have to be a super user, but people who've been working the system for a little while have come to know that every week there are new movies that go on sale based on specials that are provided by the different studios. And a lot of the stuff is keyed around different times of the year. So obviously now we're running all kinds of Halloween and thriller type movies. On May the 4th, the last couple of years, we've always put out the Star Wars series all on special pricing. And so if you have all your movies cataloged and you don't particularly need to watch all of them right away, it's great to keep them in the catalog and then keep track of, look at the notifications that come out every week and see what's on special. And then you'll find out when the stuff that you already wanted to get and you're already getting a discount, you'll get a better discount if it goes on TPR.
Yeah. Do you want to go over the prices here? I could bring it up on screen.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to kind of review the price point of Kaleidescape for consumers who may not be familiar.
Well, there's a PD program for the store credits and all that.
Yeah, Matt kind of went over that earlier. As you guys can see here, it kind of varies dependent on the level of system you need. Really, Kaleidescape is pretty simple. You got players and you have servers. The server is where all of your physical movies are stored. And this is the big differentiator between Kaleidescape and many other options out there. You're not streaming, guys. It's all downloaded to the hard drive and full lossless audio reference level video. So the best of the best that you can receive. So you need one hard drive, one server, essentially for the entire home. And you can buy as many players as you would like to position around the home so you can access that server. Or you can just start out with one player and one server. But as you can see from the movie credits, it as you go up in size, you get more movie credits, which people with larger libraries are going to need larger hard drives.
And the other thing that people are going to need to know is, just as a reference for people who aren't familiar, that you can fit about 100 4K movies for every 6 terabytes of storage. So that 8K drive, the entry-level drive, is going to get you about 125 4K movies, or between 200 and 250 HD movies. So there's going to be some mix in there. And you can multiply that out for the rest of the server. So you want to look at how many movies are in your collection that you would want to have on the Kaleidescape system, and that's going to give you an idea of what size server you want to start with.
Can you explain to the folks that if they want to start off with an 8 terabyte drive and you happen to run out of space, but there's another movie that just came out that you want to pick up, can you delete movies off of that drive and re-download them at another time without losing them, without having to repurchase them? Can you do that?
Absolutely. Once you've purchased a movie from Kaleidescape, you own that movie, you own the license to play it. And if you delete the movie for a reason like Shane just mentioned, if you've got the server space that you have and you've filled it up, and now a great new movie just came out and you want to add that, and you don't have time to add a new server, then you can delete a movie, download another movie, and then when you do expand your server space, or if you decide to rearrange the movies on there and delete some other ones, you can always re-download the ones you've deleted. They stay in your library.
Yeah. And that's the other big thing with us is you don't lose content, right? There are no expirations of we have you have the new Mission Impossible today, and then 6 months it goes out of window and we don't have it. Once you buy it, you've purchased the rights to that item. So
does Kaleidescape offer extras, like extra features, commentary, stuff like that?
Absolutely. And so the special features that you would typically get with a disc set are included. Most of the time, the studio includes those with the HD version of the movie, and they're not included with the 4K version. So you would just download the HD version, and you'll get all the special features along with that as well.
So there's there's usually 3 versions. There's the HD, the 4K, then the UH, then the HDR. Why is the HDR usually smaller than the 4K?
Well, both UHD and HDR are both 4K files. The difference is whether it's using standard dynamic range or high dynamic range, which is HDR. And we use UHD for the versions with standard dynamic range and Rec 709 color space. There's not usually a huge difference between the 2 file sizes, but sometimes the HDR one will be, might be smaller, and sometimes that's because there's a little bit more detail and granularity in the the content that's provided by having the additional dynamic range, which allows you to have more colors, and so allows things to be represented in more clearly. And any content that is more clearly defined is easier to compress, and so you can get a few more bits of space out of it.
I've always wanted to know that. Okay. And and I brought this up earlier. There's been some chatter about what is a mezzanine file? Where does it come from? How different is it from a mezzanine file that Apple might get, or that the Blu-ray presses might get, or Voodoo might get? Is it the same mezzanine file that's spread about all of these other companies? And are they adding their own compression to this mezzanine file, or are you getting a specific file? Or does every brand get their own specific mezzanine file? How does that work?
The studios put out one mezzanine file. This is, once they've finished producing the movie and doing all the editing and color correction and made it ready for home delivery, then they put together the final delivery package, which is what we call the mezzanine file. So it's got the highest bit rate version of a watchable video track, and all of the related audio tracks and whatever languages that they're distributing with that package, and subtitles and other content. And so that's the same package gets delivered to any of the resellers, whether it's the company that's going to stamp them onto discs and deliver them that way, or if it's a streaming company that's going to take it and deliver it over their streaming platform. So everybody's starting with the same file, and that we all just need to take that file and make it fit to work within the constraints of our delivery mechanism. And so, if you're a streamer, you need to compress that down to an average of 6 to 8 megabits per second. So down to a very small file, including the video and the audio, to get it through the various platform streaming pipelines. And if you're a disc, you're going to be constrained by the physical size of the disc. Typically, most major movies are being put out on a 66 gigabyte disc. And so that means you're taking this file and compressing it along with all the things on there. So you're going to have some special features, you're going to have some menus, some subtitles, all the audio tracks. And once you subtract that from the 66 gigabytes, then the rest of the space is what you have left to compress the disc and the movie into. For Kaleidescape, we're not encumbered by a physical constraint or a bandwidth constraint, except for the bandwidth constraint of the Blu-ray UHD Blu-ray format, which is a maximum of 100 megabits per second of the video across the video pathway. And so we can, if we need to apply more bits to scenes that are really detailed or very fast action, so that they're difficult to compress, we can do that to make sure that every frame of the film is visually lossless and looks perfect. And if the file comes out to be obviously more than 66 gigabytes, even if it comes out to be more than 100 gigabytes, which is beyond the size of the largest physical media you can get, we can still deliver that file. It's going to take a few more minutes to download, but once you have it, you're going to have a perfectly visually lossless representation of that movie.
And the audio files compared to your standard UHD Blu-ray, is the audio exactly the same? Is it lossless? Is there any difference between the audio files?
Generally, it's not a difference, because the Blu-ray discs are able to provide the losslessly compressed DTSX and Dolby Atmos versions of the file. So the Dolby True HD and DTS HD formats are losslessly compressed, and so they're effectively equivalent.
And one more really popular question. Do you need to be connected to the internet in order for you to watch your collection of movies?
You do not. Once you've downloaded the movie onto your system, so you've got it on your Terra server, then the Terra server obviously needs to be networked to the Strato player, but they do not need to be connected to the internet to be able to play. So if you're in a
Andre, I
situation
think you
where
should talk about the app a little bit too. That's one of the coolest features and the best UI on the market. And I don't feel like there's really a lot of discussion about how awesome your app is. Could you talk about that a little bit?
sure, and the app is absolutely great. So when I'm at home, I've got a control system, and I start up my system. I bring up the Kaleidescape menu, and as soon as I've got Kaleidescape on the screen, I switch over to my cell phone and use the Kaleidescape mobile app to be able to provide a remote control for my system, which I just drive with my thumb and don't need to be looking at any other device. I can zip around the menus and find the content I want to watch and make it appear on the screen. But it's also, as you're probably alluding to, a great tool to use anywhere, anytime to find movies and purchase movies because you have access to the over 14,000 titles that are in our store right in the palm of your hand anywhere. So you can be out to lunch, hanging out with some friends, talking about the movies that somebody saw over the weekend and say, "Oh, I want to watch that." You can go right into your app at that moment, find the movie, purchase the movie. It'll start downloading and it'll be ready to watch when you get home.
I think that's got to be one of the coolest features right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
that's
addition to that,
definitely one of the most used features. I mean, being able to pre-order the movie that you're looking forward to the most. Obviously, it pays to be patient. I think you've kind of alluded to that, Andre, with movies that go on sale quite frequently. But one of the major features that I like is, hey, if I've pre-ordered it, I know you guys have my back. Whenever it's ready to release, it's going to be automatically downloaded to my server. I get an email saying, thanks for your purchase. Here's your receipt from purchasing your movie. Usually comes through a couple minutes after midnight, and the movie's just ready to go. I don't have to wait on anything because it downloaded while I was asleep. So I definitely think that's a really cool feature to add in as well.
The other,
and a
really,
couple
go
other
ahead.
things that I think consumers aren't really aware of is the live music concerts you guys have. I think that's probably one of my most used demos in customers' theaters. And also, you guys do TV shows. So could you talk about that a little bit more?
So we'll be adding slowly about 220 plus new concerts for you, which is huge. Really excited about that because, like you said, that's like one of the biggest demos that we can give is the
Amazing.
concert stuff. And we have a ton of end users that just like to sit in their theater and pretend they're there, right? And then we have a ton of television, right? We're adding, we've got some Netflix originals. We have a ton of Amazon originals. All the HBO shows that you're used to. Showtime. We've got Yellowstone, so with Paramount, Peacock, that sort of thing. We've got The Office. We have a ton of television stuff as well. So we got what the Jack Reacher, the Jack Ryan series, all that stuff. So a lot of cool stuff. I was also going to say the other big thing with our app, or when you sign in to kaleidescape.com and go to your movie thing, are the updates. So you actually get free updates on all of your movies. So if the studio comes back and adds an audio track or does something different with the video, you get that, and you get that for free. You just have to update, that copy. But I get updates all the time. Like I just had one the other day for Top Gun Maverick that was a added Atmos track. So a ton of stuff like that as well.
It's amazing. Yeah, you guys are more than just a movie player. So I just wanted to talk about some of these things that the average consumer is just not aware of. One other thing I'd like you to talk about, Matt, is how you can hand curate scenes and put together demo reels. Could you
Yeah.
explain that process?
Sure, absolutely. So you can actually create your own scenes. So the biggest thing for us is when you go into our interface, and you go to that movie, you're going to see some scenes. So scenes are unlike the chapters that most people are used to. There's scenes that we at Kaleidescape actually curated, which we think highlight that movie the best. So if there's a scene that you think is a little bit better, or hey, you know what, I wouldn't end it right there. I'd end it, a minute from now. You can actually go in, if you push the menu button while you're watching the movie, you can go in, start the start of that scene, and then hit the end. You save it, and now it's a scene inside of Kaleidescape. So now when you go to scenes, you'll see a heart next to that scene, and that's one that you've created. So now you have your buddy come over. You can say, "Hey, let me show you this scene that I just created," right? Or let me show you my top 5, scenes from my collection. So,
And one of the things I wanted to add on to what we're talking about the TV shows is there's also a feature that we've got called Season Pass. That's just about a year old, and what that does is it allows you to order a full season of a show that's actually in release right now. So Yellowstone is happening right now. We're in the middle of a season, and so you can purchase the current season of Yellowstone. You'll be able to download any of the episodes that have already aired this season, but then the new episodes that haven't yet aired, the day after they are broadcast, then they'll be available on your Kaleidescape player to watch at home in full resolution, which in that case is going to be 4K.
yeah, 4K lossless. Yep.
All right, Andre, Matt, I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on Shane's channel today and giving his customers as well as the Dream Media customers the lowdown on Kaleidescape. This was very nice of you guys to offer this for the Zappiti customers. Anybody who's interested in learning more about Kaleidescape, reach out today for a free consultation with one of our specialists. We'll talk about all of the benefits of Kaleidescape, as well as we create full system designs, guys. If you need anything home theater related, we have you covered with all the industry leading best of the best brands. All right, well, that's all I got for you. Thanks for having us on, Shane.
Thanks, Shane.
Thanks, guys, for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
All right, Dream Media family, that is a wrap on the Zappiti upgrade options with Kaleidescape. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick overview and introduction to the program. If you're interested in learning more, reach out today for a free video consultation with one of my specialists. We don't only sell Kaleidescape. Of course, you can head over to our website and purchase Kaleidescape anytime you'd please, but what we do here at Dream Media is above and beyond. We like to consult with our customers all around the country over video call and tailor packages specific to your exact room and budget to optimize the system performance as well as your budget. So reach out today and learn about all of our industry-leading brands that we have to offer. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up and be sure to smash that subscribe button down below for more. Till next time, this is Zach with Dream Media Home Theater. Thank you for watching.